Hi, I'm Margaret Mückstein. I'm founder and CEO of Cloudomation, and today I want to give you a brief demo of Cloudomation Devstack. Devstack is our platform for cloud development environments, or CDEs, or remote development environments, in short, RDEs. CDEs, RDEs, they're really the same thing. So I want to show you Devstack. I will log into the Devstack platform, which is currently empty. I haven't deployed any RDEs yet, so I will click the Create RDE button. I will fill in a few configuration options. I will call it Margot's RDE. I will select the RDE type and a user, myself, and I will select how many hours it should be up before it is automatically stopped. So as soon as I created the RDE, it is now actually being deployed. So what is happening in the background, it's actually deploying a fresh virtual machine. On this virtual machine, it deploys all the basics, so an operating system, all the dependencies that are configured in the underlying automation, and it then actually copies our source code repositories. It builds the software from the sources, it starts the services, it creates a user for myself, which I added in the configuration, and it will send me an invite to actually sign in. So which software is now actually being deployed? I'm showing you this for our own internal development process. So this is now actually deploying the Cloudomation platform, the entire stack on the RDE. And it will then show you how I, as a Cloudomation developer, would then make a change to the source code of the Cloudomation platform and how this change is then actually reflected on the RDE. I went through the configuration a bit quickly. This is highly customizable, so whatever configuration or options or choices you need in order to deploy a remote development environment that has everything that your developers need, this can be freely configured here. So very important is the RDE type. At the moment I have here Cloudomation 9, 10 or Backstage. Backstage is an open source software that we use for demo purposes. But I also can choose a Cloudomation version. So if I actually need to go back to Cloudomation version 9 and fix the bug for a customer, this now is really easy for us. I just deploy an RDE, I wait for a minute, and I can start working on it. And afterwards, I just throw it away and go back to my Cloudomation 10 RDE. So context switching becomes really easy when you use RDEs. It also says here CLI command. This is currently unset because this will actually be updated. Here we go, it's running, it's done. So my RD is available for me. So this is actually populated by the automation in the backend. CLI is short for command line interface, and this is actually a small command line terminal tool, which helps me configure and use Cloudomation Devstack. Actually, what it does is it configures everything for me locally. So what we do, what Devstack does, is it creates a local copy of the source code repository on the developer's laptop, because we believe it's very important that developers actually have their hands on the code. So this is very different from most other CDE products which move everything remotely. This is also possible. You can configure Cloudomation to run purely remotely and be accessed via the browser-based IDE. But in the standard configuration, which we believe provides the best user experience to a developer, the source code is actually copied onto the local machine on the developer's laptop, where they can then also work when they're offline, when they don't have internet, when their internet is slow or intermittent. This will not influence their workflow while they're writing code and working with the code. And we believe this is really important. It's already done already, so it created a local copy of my source code repository, and I can start working. So one thing this also enables me to do is I can use whatever IDE I like, I can use whatever editor I like to access my local copy of the source code repository. And as soon as I make any change to the source code and save this change, a sync is triggered, and this change is then copied to the RDE and can trigger a hot reload of the software there. So what can I do with the CLI? I can toggle also, I can follow logs, so normal logs and debug logs on the remote machine. So I have it printed, have the logs printed here on my terminal. I can switch on the file sync or switch it off, and I can also choose whether or not port forwarding is enabled. So also very handy, this tool forwards all the ports for me, so I can access the software that is deployed on the RDE via localhost locally because the ports are forwarded for me. And I can also open an interactive terminal session. So when I actually press T here, this will now connect me to the remote machine. And apologies there, I removed the terminal window. And I can now work on the RDE VM. Cloudomation was now actually deployed to the RDE, and I got an invitation email from a user to activate my account. So this now is the software running on the RDE, so Cloudomation Engine in this case, running on the remote development environment. I can access it locally with localhost port 8443 because this was forwarded. I can exit the terminal session and actually stop the port forwarding. And if I now refresh this, the site can't be reached because the port forwarding, I shut it down. So if I enable the port forwarding again, here we go, it's loading again and the ports are forwarded again, and I can again see my activate account screen. So I don't want to go any further. What I want to do is I want to make a small change to the activate account screen that we see here. So I open my Visual Studio Code, my local Visual Studio Code. I access my source code here locally. This is my local source code copy. I go to this activate account screen, and here we have this label, this activate account label. And all I want to do is I will change this. And I save. Here we go. This triggers the automatic file sync. So the activate account JSX was copied, automatically synced to the virtual machine. And we can see my change. I changed this. The label was updated immediately. There was a hot reload on the RDE, and I can see my change. So this is it. This is how working with an RDE would look like. A software developer in the morning would go to the Devstack platform, would click create RDE, wait for a minute, have their RDE made available, use the CLI to forward logs, to have ports forwarded automatically, to interactively connect to the RDE if they need to, and locally make their code changes, save them, and any changes that they make are then automatically reflected in the RDE. That's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching.